Tim Newton said it. He was making reference, I think, to his application or whatever. I'm not saying he was making. I'm not saying for definitely he's making reference to his application, but he did say that Thai immigration, in terms of visas, are now dotting the I's and crossing the T's. She said, "There's the reference number for your application. Online, I've made friends online," so she saw that I'd made friends online on the phone, and she said, "Online, if your application is successful, we'll send you the relevant notification, whatever." It brought it home to me. It'll be if every year. It has been if every year, but this year has been a big if because there's so many changes. Hi guys, welcome back. This is Alpha Omega occasionally. You know, I don't give a shit anymore. I genuinely don't. I say that, look, I'm looking straight into the lens and saying, I don't care anymore. I really don't. But when I say I don't give a damn, I don't give a damn. I've been through a week. I've been through a full week, excuse me, of visa stuff. To and fro, up and down, from here to Pontutini, which is here meaning Bangkok, to Pontutini, and all places in between. I'm tired. If this wonderful country affords me another year in this wonderful country, I'll be more than grateful. If they don't, I'll just say okay. At this stage, I'll just say okay. If you're wondering what has motivated me to speak like this or to utter, if you're wondering what I'm going on about or what's caused me to be this negative or this absolutely uncaring of what happens, just stay tuned. We're going to have something to eat. We're going to have some of the best beer in the world, which is beer lao. I love beer lao. I tell you, beer lao is available here in the restaurant that I'm in. This is not a food review, lads. This is a review where we're going to have something to eat. I think, I'm not sure. But the sweat is pouring off me. I don't care what they do. I don't care. They change the rules so much. I've made it clear in the last 2 or 3 videos exactly what's been going on with me and my visa application. I'm not being negative at all. I'm being positive. Fair play to Thailand. They're dotting the I's and crossing the T's. By jingo, are they dotting the I's and crossing the T's. Anyway, enjoy this video because I'm going to sit down, have a beer lao and talk a bit more. I haven't ordered me beer yet, but I want to draw your attention to something. I went onto my YouTube homepage last night, and this is a wake up for me. It really was. I went onto my YouTube homepage last night. You know the way you just go on and you do your thing or whatever. And I've got one of my favourite YouTubers is Joel Hansen, a competitive eater, or I don't know if that's the right term to use, competitive eater, but he's an eater. He's a professional eater. And a lovely guy from Canada. And maybe some of you are aware of the fact that Joel Hansen woke up with Bell's palsy. I think that's what it is. In other words, half his face is paralysed. And it's changed his life completely. And I want to say, and I don't think Joel needs my support, and I know, he's on a different level to me when it comes to YouTube, and fair play to him. But as I said, he's one of my favourite YouTubers. But his life has changed. He has facial paralysis. And he can't do what he was doing, eating food for a living. And that kind of, I was thinking of making this video even before I learned about the misfortune of Joel Hansen. And I want to, at this stage, extend, and I genuinely mean this, I want to extend my heartfelt sympathy, but also I want to say, get well soon. This can pass, and it will pass, and you'll be back where you were again, Joel. Fair play to you. He made loads of videos here in Bangkok, or he has made loads of videos here in Bangkok, and I hope he does so again. I don't do what he does, but I can tell you this much. I've reached the stage where I'm absolutely... I'm tired of it. I spent the last bloody week... I made a video from here a week ago getting me photographs taken from my visa. And we're still at it. So here we are. You see, one of the things about me is I'm honest with you, and you know I'm honest with you. I don't like Thai food. I think it's overrated, but that's not to say it's bad. That's my opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion. You're entitled to your opinion. But I tell you, in my opinion, this stuff is the bee's knees. It's beer lao. It puts Thai beers in the shade. Most beers put Thai beers in the shade, as far as I'm concerned, with the exception of Budweiser and Coors and Miller and all North American beers, which we all know are complete and utter horse piss. Anyway, beer lao, here we go. That's a very unique taste. If you want to know, now I'm getting off the topic here. People criticize me for talking about a 2-minute subject over 20 minutes. Well, you see, that's what it's all about. The two Ronnies did it. Ronnie Corbett used to sit in the bloody chair. He used to drive me mad. Watching him on a Saturday night back home. In Ireland, we did get British TV. But he'd sit in this chair and he'd go on a bit of story and then he'd go off on a tangent about something completely unrelated. Well, I'm not going on about something completely unrelated. This is not unrelated. But I can tell you, dealing with Thai immigration over the last week, and I mean week, I did tell you I'd give you an update on the way things are going. This is the first year ever that I've had to go twice to immigration to set the wheels in motion for my visa. When we went up first and we supplied all the documentation, as I said before in my last video, the banking details were incorrect. My address was in Bangkok. My banking address should be in Pontchartrain, where the immigration office is, where I am applying for my visa. So we went up and we did all that. I got it all done, and almost a week later we went up. This is a week after the initial visit to immigration. I had the opportunity to go to the bank to change the address. And if you're asking me why it's a week, it's because we went to Pattaya for a vacation. If you're used to the channel, you'll know that because the last video was from Pattaya. Do you know what? They give me a menu. The Thais just eat and drink. They give you a menu here, and you have to say no ice, Mayao Namkang, because they'll give you ice in your beer, and there's nothing worse, in my opinion. And there's nothing worse, in my opinion, than eating food when you're drinking. But that's just me. But here's the deal. The reason why a week passed between the time I first went to immigration and then went back to immigration with the details they wanted about the banking was because we went on vacation to Pattaya in the meantime. So we went up yesterday and we were up there at about, I think it was 9 o'clock, 9:30, and we were waiting because it's a busy immigration office, and the immigration officers up there in Pontchartrain are one of the best. They are the best as far as I'm concerned. They really are. They're polite, they're efficient, everything works well. And the reason I'm complaining about waiting is because everyone complains about waiting. I was waiting, and the reason I was waiting is because lots of people are up there trying to get different 90-day reports done and everything else done, because Thailand's such a wonderful place. It's in demand. So we were waiting anyway, and we got to see this wonderful immigration officer. I mean, wonderful. She's actually lovely. She was charismatic. One of the most charismatic people I've met since I came to Thailand. And with that, the most charismatic immigration officer. But she was very nice. But she said that I could scan the QR code for the line application to make friends. Well, we'll say friends because that's the term you use when you add someone online. You make friends with them. So I scanned the QR code and made friends with Thai immigration. And here's the deal now. They give you on your passport, they always do, a reference number for your visa application. You just quote that reference number and you send a message to Thai immigration at any time while your visa is in process, and they'll give you an update. But before all that started, another piece of information was required. My son's Thai ID. It wasn't required last year. The reason it wasn't required last year is because he was 6 last year. He's 7 this year, and it's only at 7 Thai nationals get their Thai ID cards. So he had to get his Thai ID, and we didn't have it. And it's a requirement now. If I want to get my visa, I have to produce my son's Thai ID card. So we hightailed it back down to Bangkok yesterday. Went to the Bangkok Metropolitan Authority office, which is where Thais go to get things like that done. And my son got measured. They have to measure his height and do all this, and he got his Thai ID card. And one of the things that really, it disappointed me. They didn't require my signature, only his mother's signature because she's Thai. And when he got his Thai ID card, she had her card with his in a little plastic envelope thing, and I just felt left out. He's Thai, she's Thai, and I'm Billy No Mates, and I said that before in my last video, Billy No Mates and Patia. And I just felt different from the rest of my family. Anyway, what I had to do was take a photo of his Thai ID card with my passport. I actually put it next to the visa, my visa reference number for the application, and sent it to them, and they sent me back thank you. So it's in process. But one of the things that the immigration officer said to me before I left the immigration office, when she had told me that I had to go back to Bangkok and get my son's Thai ID card, she said, there's the reference number for your application. Online, I've made friends online, so she saw that I'd made friends online on the phone. And she said, online, if your application is successful, we'll send you the relevant notification, whatever. And I know it's always if. An application is an application is an application, so therefore it's always an if. But to hear it from a Thai immigration officer that if your application is successful, it brought it home to me. If. It'll be if every year. It has been if every year, but this year has been a big if because there's so many changes to the way they're doing it. I mean, they did. I'll just say who said it. Tim Newton said it. He was making reference, I think, to his application or whatever. I'm not saying he was making. I'm not saying for definitely he's making reference to his application, but he did say that Thai immigration, in terms of visas, are now dotting the I's and crossing the T's, and that's exactly what's happening. And I'm battle weary. I'm absolutely battle weary. I don't. Actually, this is quite nice. I'm gonna have some more of this while I'm talking to you. This place here is beers from all over the world. You'll see it there. But I'm battle weary. At this stage, I just say, if they give it to me, they give it to me. If they don't, they don't, and it's their prerogative. I don't think that will come to pass because I am the father of a Thai national, and I did supply my son's Thai ID card. But here's a quirky fact. I wasn't required. My signature wasn't required to furnish my son with his Thai ID card, but my thumbprint and signature were required for his Thai passport. I don't know why that is, but there you go. You don't need the Farang father's signature or thumbprint for his Thai ID card, but you do need it for the passport. Beer Lao. I'll tell you, I got into Beer Lao when I was up in Lao, or over in Lao, a few years ago in Vientiane. It's absolutely lovely. And I tell you, there's only one thing that beats Beerlow in a bottle. It's Beerlow Draft. You won't get Beerlow Draft anywhere around here. If you want Beerlow Draft, you go to Vientiane. I'll tell you, it's worth a trip to Vientiane just for that. So I don't care. I really don't care. It's not that I don't care. Sorry, it's wrong. I do care. But I'm not. I said it before. I'm not worried. So my visa is now in process. And if it's granted, wonderful. If it's not granted, I actually felt when I was talking to the immigration officer with my wife, it was like if she had told me there and then that they weren't going to process the visa, the feeling I had this anxiety, because I've nothing left. I've got absolutely nothing left in Ireland. Nothing. I'm saying nothing. I've nothing left in Ireland. I've no address, I've no bank account, I've nothing. So I feel totally vulnerable. That's why I'm kind of blasé, because I'm vulnerable and I'm tired of being vulnerable. You're vulnerable. If you're living here on a visa, you're vulnerable too. I'm rabbiting on. But what, can I just ask a question? Why do we put ourselves through this? Why do we put ourselves in this vulnerable position where we're at the behest of an authority that can afford us the privilege of staying another year in this wonderful country? And it is a wonderful country, there's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. All the would-be, and I say would-be, negative videos that I have put up on YouTube about Thai culture and that, it's not negative, it's just an observation. But I'd rather be here than anywhere else. And if they told me that I'm not going to be able to stay here, I'd be very, very upset, because I have a family here, obviously my wife and son. I don't think that would happen. But if it did happen, I'd take it in my stride. And someone asked me today, where would you go? And they said, would you go to Cambodia because it's close by? I'm tired of all the visa stuff. I said it before, I go to Spain. So that's the deal, lads. I'm sitting here enjoying my beer now on a Thursday night, and I'll let you in a little secret if you've watched this video to this stage. I was tucking into a bottle of Gordon's gin before I came out because it's Thursday, and I'll be tucking in again when I go back. But this was a beer low interlude. There you go. And you could do worse than a beer low interlude, and you could do worse than an Alpha Omega interlude. I tell you as it is. I might sound pissed. I'm not pissed, but I'm getting there. And I want to thank you all for being there. And we're going to get there. We're going to get there. I know. I can't see it not happening visa-wise. But being so vulnerable every single year, where you're applying and it's always going to be an if. Imagine my son is 18 years old. Well, my son is 8, that's what, about 10 years from now, so I'll be 71. And let's just say they didn't approve my visa in 10 years from now and I had to hightail it back to Ireland at 71. It doesn't bear thinking about. I don't know. I'm still here anyway, you're still here. And thank you very much for being there. I'm going to pour a beer the way Thais pour beer. This is the way they do it. They haven't got a clue. Look, and you get a head that size. And in my country, that's a sacrilege. So listen, lads, it'll be a sacrilege if you don't click that like button, the share button, subscribe button, and do all those wonderful things. because I will bring it back, come what may. I hate that phrase. Whatever happens, I'll bring it back another wonderful video very soon. Thanks for joining me. I'm not going to eat. They want me to eat. They gave me a menu. I'm not Thai. I don't eat and drink beer. I just don't do it. And I'm not mad about Thai food, as you know. If there was a McDonald's here, I'd be there now. There you are now. See you again soon, lads.